guys. There's a massive storm here right now in Malaysia, so I had problems connecting to my internet. So I've been turning my phone off, turning it back on, doing this, doing that, doing all sort of things. But I'm hoping that this will work. My Wi-Fi does not work, so I'm going to use my phone data instead. I know a lot of you are joining. Yay! Okay, so sorry about the delay, internet problems. Let's start. Hello, welcome to this online experience on sharing meals together at Shoku. I'm so glad that you guys are joining. Wow, Yoko, Mandy, yay, Rita, cool, yeah. So I am raw chef Yin. I am a raw vegan chef based in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, and I'm really glad that you can join me today. You can see like all my ingredients are here and I'm super excited. So thank you so much, Yoko, for initiating this and inviting me to be a guest on your sharing meals together. I feel very honored and privileged to be able to share my knowledge and my love for Malaysian food, because some of my younger Malaysian vegan friends, they're very into burgers and vegan pizzas and vegan waffles. But I'm like, but we're in Malaysia and we have so much, we have so much variety, we have so much flavors. It's so robust, it's so flavorful, it's very, very intense, and it's absolutely delicious. So today what I've decided to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of a background about the dish that I'm creating and showing you for today, which is a kerabu. And you also learn like what are the ingredients that are used in kerabu. There's a lot of different kerabus actually, and so I have all these here as well. And then I will show you a very simple recipe, which I am hoping that you can also make it in your own home, based on the whatever ingredients that you have. Yeah. So okay, let's start. So at the end of the session, I will answer your questions as well. Yeah. So what exactly is kerabu? So kerabu is actually a kind of salad, but it's not like you eat a salad on its own. It's actually a side dish, and it's used to accompany rice. There are both raw elements to it as well as cooked. In fact, it emerged basically as a way to utilize all your leftover food. So traditionally, it's not vegan, but I have veganized it. And and the whole idea is to have very punchy flavors, and when you take a bite into it, it will really whet your appetite. Yeah. So let me see. So what are the important elements of a kerabu? So first thing, there needs to be heat, which is one of my favorite elements in a dish. I remember cooking for my friend in London, and he was like, "Oh my God, Yin, this is way too spicy." So and then when I did my pop-up dinner in Hong Kong, and I did a kimchi fried rice, and everyone was like, "Too spicy, too spicy." So I need to learn to tone it down. Because in kerabu you need to have spice, right? And you can use a red chili to have spice. This is the long one that we use. There's also green chili. I don't have that today. What I also have, which I really like and we're going to use in the ingredients, is this. So I don't know whether you guys are familiar with the different kinds of chili in Malaysia. And does anybody want to guess? Or you guys can guess, like, which one is spicier? Will it be this one, the small ones, or this big, long one? Yeah. And I will answer that when I actually make the dish. So that's spice. And then you need it to be sour. And what we usually use, some of the things that we use, I'm so happy I found this today. So this is a calamansi lime. Yeah. And I actually really like using this in Malaysian cooking as well, because I want to show you the difference again. We seem to have very small ones. The smaller one, the smaller one. Okay, so this is a lemon, this is a calamansi lime, and then in between I think you have the golf ball size, that lime as well. But in Malaysia we use a lot of these, and it's a different kind of sour and tanginess compared to the lemon. But obviously if you can't get that, then just use a lemon, that's fine as well. The other thing that I was very excited to show you is called the tamarind. Yeah. So I don't know whether you have seen this before. This is like a tamarind pot, and let me just break it. This is why I have my spoon here. So these are like fresh tamarind pots. Nowadays, a lot of times it comes in a packet, it's all opened up, but I like to use it like this because this is where the original flavor comes on, and it's not salted. Yes, in Thailand, correct. Yeah, I think what I'm teaching today, a lot of the flavors are very similar to the ones in Thailand as well. So you break it up, and then it's quite a tedious process. You need to open it, crack it open, and then you need to soak it because there's seeds inside as well, and there's also veins. Yeah, but you can actually just eat it like this as a snack. So let me taste it. And I like how it's sour, but it's also kind of like sweet sour kind of thing. So it's very complex flavor and used a lot in Thai dishes and Malay dishes as well. Yeah. So that's the tamarind, and then you could use lime juice as well for sourness. And then sweetness. Oh, Malaysian food, it's very sweet, like really, really sweet. Yeah, sad to say I had so many friends and family who are all diabetic and all that. But today I'm going to try and make it slightly healthier. So I'm using a palm sugar. This is a coconut palm sugar. And there's actually a difference between coconut sugar and coconut palm sugar. Coconut sugar is made from the flowers, right? The coconut flowers. Whereas the coconut palm sugar is made actually from the sap of the trunk, I think. Yeah, so it's actually more sustainable. I love this because this has a very smoky, intense flavor as well. So, I love it in the cooking. Yeah. So we have sour, we have sweet, we have spice. We also have things like creaminess to it. So we usually use coconut milk for that, coconut cream. And texture as well, again, because in Malaysia we have an abundance of coconut trees, so we use like grated coconut, roasted grated coconut, and things like that. And then the other things I wanted to show you that is commonly found in the Kerabu, I'll show you lemongrass. This is actually plucked right from the garden this morning. So yeah, I wanted to show you how it looks like in its natural state. So it's actually like, check it out, it's like really long. What I usually do is I save this part and I cut it up and I let it dry. It dries naturally very fast, and I make lemongrass tea. But what we usually do is we use this part, we need to peel it off, and then we use this part for the Kerabu. So that's lemongrass. What else? Oh, cafe lime leaves. Another one which I really, really love. The color is a bit off because this is frozen. I'm not able to get fresh cafe lime leaves right now. When I used to live in a house, my parents used to plant this as well. So again, so fragrant. Can you imagine just like slicing this into little pieces and putting them into your food and like making desserts with them? Oh my god, Yoko, you should make like a... I'm wondering whether you have made like a cafe lime leaf raw cake. Yeah, so that'd be really cool. And yeah, so those are some of the ingredients that I really like. And then some meat substitutes, because they do put meat in the Kerabu. Today I'm just gonna use tempeh. And this is my homemade tempeh. I just taught a tempeh course last Saturday. I have like up to now 50 people who have signed up for it, have taken it, and I know some of you have already started making. Like early retirement abroad. I just saw your photos of your tempeh today. So if anybody wants to learn, you can sign up. And you know what? This is really interesting. I made it with, does anybody want to guess? I made it, this was with the dal, the kacang dal, and also black rice and pumpkin seeds. So yeah, if you're not into soy, you can always make it from other seeds and beans as well. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how we're going to make, today we're going to make a mango and tomato kerabu. So the ingredients that we need is mango. So this is the ingredients. Let me figure out like what's the best way for you to see how I'm going to do this. So this can, oh wait, one last thing. This is okay, I always mix it up. In Malay, it's called bunga kantan. So it's either torched ginger bud or ginger torch. It's torched ginger, yeah. It's torched ginger. So it's, yeah, it's from the ginger flower. And again, you know, if you slice it very, very thinly, oh, it's just amazing. It's so amazing in food, in dishes. Really cool stuff, yeah. For today, we're gonna make something simple. Let me see, where is it? Ah, wait. I still have a few more things to talk about in general. So, okay. In kerabu, the umami flavor traditionally comes from belacan, which is a dried shrimp paste, or just, you know, dried shrimps. But of course, we're raw vegan. So what I have done was, I was going like, okay, what can we use to replace that? So I use a combination of things. What I use is miso, and then I also sometimes use a bit of soy sauce. This is our local and artisanal soy sauce. And then I also use a bit of nori. Actually, I usually use dals, but today because I do not have any dals powder, which is a Japanese seaweed, I've just used nori instead, which is also fine because that it still gives you that kind of fishy smell to replace the fish paste. And when it comes to miso, I'm like, oh, just use whatever miso you can get actually. Just make sure it's vegan, if you're vegan. So like, I use this Clear Spring miso, and because it's labeled clearly that it's vegan. And this one is also unpasteurized, so I would suggest that if you can find unpasteurized miso, is actually better for the benefits. I asked Yoko whether she sells it in a shop. She says she makes it, and she also has a video on YouTube on how to make chickpea miso, so check that out. So any color will do if you want a darker one, the lighter one. Today we're using the lighter one. Yeah. And yeah, and to replace fish sauce, again, like I said, you know, we just I just use like organic soy sauce. But if you're not into soy, you can, you know, if you don't want to use soy sauce, you can use tamari, you can use namashoyu, you can use coconut aminos as well. Yeah. Okay, so the ingredients for today's mango and tomato kerabu. And what I'll do is I actually have, I'll actually put this recipe into a recipe card, and I actually have a whole collection of, I do have some kerabu recipes. So I think what I'll do is I'll create them into like nice little recipe cards, and then if you want it, just get onto my email, subscribe to my email newsletter, and then I'll send it out next week. So if you can subscribe by this Sunday, then next week I'll send out the kerabu, the collection of kerabu recipe cards to all of you on the list. Just look for my website, rawchefyin.com, and then look for the newsletter thing. So okay, we like I said, I use this mango. I'm using a unripe mango. That means if you press it, it's still quite hard. You don't want the soft, fleshy, juicy mango for this recipe because you need to grate it. So what I've done is I've grated it up. I've just used this grater to grate it, but you know, if you want, you could use your box grater as well, Or if you want to be very traditional, you could use this as well. I love this! But this takes a longer time and not very great. This is what the Thai people use to make their mango salads and their somtam, their papaya salads as well. So I'm using this, and then what I'll be also using is the tomatoes. Today we are using tomatoes from Cultivate. So if you're in Malaysia, you can check them out. There's no pesticides. It's vibe ripened. Can you see the color? It's so beautiful. It's also local produce, and they make it in they make sure that everything they do is sustainable as well. So I've just cut up the tomatoes into like just small little slices. And what I've done is, what I usually do is for like the dressing, in Malaysian Kerabu, there's usually, from what I understand and what I've eaten, there's usually not a lot of oil, which I love. So instead, I'm just going to use the, I save the tomato seeds instead. And then I'm just going to mix the miso with the tomato seeds. So I just want to dissolve the miso paste in the tomato seeds. Or if you don't have tomato seeds, you can just use water as well, that's fine. Just dissolve it until, you know, it becomes liquid form. Yeah, that's good. So this is to replace like the sambal belacan, if you guys are familiar with that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to use this mixing bowl. Let's see if you can see this. Okay, here. So I'll put in the grated mango. So it's just a matter of putting in all the ingredients and tossing it together actually. Okay, and then I'll just put in a bit of the miso and the tomato seeds paste thing. And then I'll put in the tomatoes, the sliced tomatoes. Yeah. And then what we want is the heat, remember? So we'll put in a bit of the sliced chili padi. So yeah, so just now we were asking, right, which one is spicier, right? This one. It's very tiny, but it's super spicy. So everybody who guessed this, you guys are correct. Well done. Yeah. Okay, we'll put that in. Then the nori, usually what I do is I cut up the nori and then I actually grind it up. But today I decided, because I was trying out this yesterday, and I decided like, oh, you know what? It actually looks nicer if it's like in like little sprinkles, and later I'm going to plate it, so I'm going to keep some so that I can actually plate it as well. So we'll put that in. And then sugar, like I said, we need to put sugar. Apparently Kerabu, you always have to have sugar, so we'll put in a bit of palm sugar. And you can adjust, you know, according to your taste, yeah, and how much sugar you want to use as well. But in Thailand, they use like loads of sugar. Yeah, that's why their food tastes so good. Okay, there's sugar, and we've already put in the chili. The other thing is, okay, I'm gonna put those in. So the other thing is, today, I'm gonna put in some greens as well. Okay, normally for Kerabu, we usually put like lovely ulam, things like, which is like local Malaysian edible herbs and leaves. So there are things like daun pegaga, there are things like ulam raja, there are things like daun selong. Unfortunately, I can't find any of it right now because we're like in partial lockdown mode. But I've been very lucky that the Farm Asia has given me some microgreens, so I'm using that as well. And you guys can also use like what you have locally. Maybe I think things like basil will be really nice, things like coriander, things like mint, you know, fresh herbs and local edible leaves will be really nice. So what I'm putting in is a mixture. I'm going to put in some sunflower microgreens, some beetroot microgreens. He also has some basil as well, so I'm putting that in, you know, and then later we'll put in some pea sprouts as well. So I'm putting that in, and then I'll put in the rest of the miso paste. So yeah, those are basically all your ingredients because I'm keeping this very simple. And then you just mix it up. Yeah, so you mix it up. So usually when I prepare it, I use my fingers, I mean like my clean hands to mix it up because you get it all mixed up and tossed better. But because today I'm here and I just didn't want to, yeah, I didn't want to dirty my hands too much just in case, you know, I don't want to dirty my phone and everything else as well. So yeah, so we'll do that. Okay. Alright, so what we should do now is taste it. Let's see. Oh, the mango's tasting really nice. I think it's not spicy enough though. I will put in a bit more, but yeah. So I'm definitely tasting the sour bit, which is I think actually coming from the what do you call it? Unripened young green mango. And then yeah, I'm tasting the lovely palm sugar smokiness. The spiciness, so I added in a bit more, and the miso and the nori and is giving it a really nice taste, and the tomatoes are like amazing. Thanks, Kalpipi. Okay, this is good. So now we're going to plate it up. Okay, we have this pretty plate here. Do this. So stay on to the end. I will answer your questions. I think I just want to, yeah, put this here. Ooh. Oh wow. I can't wait to eat this right after the live. Thanks guys for joining, so many of you. This is so cool. I'm glad you found your way here. Okay. Right. Okay. Try and make this. See if you can make this super pretty. Just gonna put in a bit more chili. I should be doing this with gloved hands, if not my fingers are like my fingers are gonna burn after this. And then we'll put in a bit more nori as well. Yeah. So exciting. Okay, so that's the first plating, and I'm gonna show this to you now so you guys can see it. Ta-da! Can you see it? Can you see it? Ta-da! So yeah, this is like your very pretty kerabu because I wanted to make it look really pretty and very appealing. Yeah. And then let me answer your questions first, and then we'll see, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna add on this and this to make it like even prettier. Okay, yum! Pezinaras, it is. Rita, hello. Hi guys. I'm just gonna see like who has questions. You know what? I'm gonna start from the beginning so that I don't miss all the questions. So wow, so many people. This is a lot. Okay. Connie, hi, Connie. Thanks for taking the the class, the tempeh class. Oops. Oh dear. You know what? I'm gonna bring this slightly closer so I can see you guys, so I don't like miss you. Wave. So excited. I'm excited. Izama, hello from Melbourne. Hello. And okay. Small ones. Wowie, you are correct. Katie Kathleen, small. Yes, correct. The smaller, the spicier. Exactly, Mandy. That's right. Yes, in Thailand. Yes, cool. Oh, this is so cool. Yes, it's so cool that you're joining us. Yeah. It's kind of gooey and used as a sweet. Yeah, that's right. That's the explanation of the tamarind. Can I use kaffir lime leaves from a jar in liquid? Okay, I haven't used that before. I have used like I was in London and I had kaffir lime leaves. They came in a jar, but I think they were dried up. Yeah, but yeah, you could use it in liquid. You know, it doesn't change the consistency. I hear thunder. Yeah, that's thunder. Oh, that was the thunder that prevented me from coming on. Is it praying time? Yes, it is. Well, it was. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Wow, Kath, Moon. Yum. Do you use much oil in your dishes? Okay, Yoko. How do I answer this? So in my raw dishes, I don't use. Okay, in my raw main courses, I don't use much. In my vegan desserts, my raw vegan desserts, I always use coconut oil. Yeah. Although I find personally how my body responds to dishes which has less oil. So I do know that once I put in oil, I actually can sense it, and I know that my body's not that happy with too much oil. So I use very little. So like these kind of dishes, I may use a bit of sesame oil because it gives so much flavor. I do use coconut oil as well, but I know I started experimenting with oil-free cooking in my non-raw dishes, things like curries, and you know, even if I make like fried noodles and all that, I don't actually use oil. I use water to saute, and I find it that works as well, and I like the taste, and Mr. Jazz Guitarist feels better as well. So yeah, but raw desserts, loads of oil. So I try not to eat like huge amounts of raw desserts, yeah, or like my chocolates and all that. I miss how do we get this recipe. Okay, so Kat Lazaro, I think the recipe is, I'm gonna give the recipe to Yoko, so it will be up on Instagram one of these times. But what I wanted to do for you guys as well, because you tune in as well, I wanted to put it together in a nice recipe card in a PDF. And not just this recipe, I have a few Kerabu recipes, so I'm very happy to put that together as a collection of recipes. You can go to my website, rawchefyin.com. I actually put it here. I don't know whether you guys can see it or not. Does that work? Can you see it? Anyway, you can go to my website and look for the newsletter tab. So just sign up for my newsletter by this Sunday, and then I'll send out the recipe cards as well. Yeah. Purani looks so delicious. It is. Bella, hi Bella, thanks for joining. What oil do you think is best to use? Bella, it really depends on what recipe you're making and what dish you're making, because I'm looking more at taste and I'm looking at texture. And I'm also looking at things like, you know, if you use coconut oil compared to olive oil, like coconut oil is, for me, it's slightly heavier, yeah. And to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of olive oil because I think I'm very Asian, so like olive oil, I've tried loads of olive oils. It still tastes a bit strange. Although I have to admit, the other day I made Lauren's recipe. It was like a salad, a basil vinaigrette, and it tasted amazing. Yeah. So I use a lot of coconut oil if you're asking me. So that's what I usually use. I use more of coconut oil just because it's Asian, it's coconuts that are not necessarily local. Sometimes it's local. Yeah, I try to get the local Malaysian coconut oil. If not, it'll usually be either just the neighboring country from Thailand or just Philippines, which is just across as well. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the last bit which I wanted to do to add in and to make this look even fancier, hold on, just two things. So to make sure that the light doesn't come. So I'm gonna put in a bit of the tempeh that I was telling you about. Let's see if we can just kind of like put in the tempeh slices. And then I wanted to also use like these pea shoots, yeah, and kind of like put it across. Oh, they're a bit, and yeah, so that kind of adds another additional element to it, right? Okay, so there you go. That's your recipe. The mango and tomato kerabu. And I wanted to say, yeah, just before I end, I wanted to say that do tune in for the rest of the week, because tomorrow this sharing meals together experience is going on until Sunday. And tomorrow, Rowena Jane it's lecture day tomorrow. She's going to talk about the connection between mental health and immunity. And then on Saturday, there's going to be grated carrot and frozen corn from the staple store. And you're going to learn how to make a kids-friendly, simple meal by a naturopath. And then on Sunday, which I am really looking forward to as well, Yoko herself from Shoku is going to make a raw vegan fermented cheese. Raw vegan fermented. Yeah, having a cheese class as well. So yeah, so do watch this. Do stay on and watch the rest of the series as well. And if are there any other questions? Olive oil has a bitter taste. Yeah, that's what I feel. It depends though. I think it depends on what kind of olive oil you're using, what brand, what quality. Is it cold press? Is it first press? And all that thing. So yeah, there's different flavors to it. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you will enjoy me. Oh, substitutions. I wrote this down. Substitutions. Okay. If you don't have this, you can't find a mango that is not ripened yet. What you could possibly do, I've thought of some things. I think the closest you can get to is a papaya, again a young papaya which is not ripe, so it's similar to the Thai som tam. And then the other thing is you could use cucumbers. You could grate your cucumbers, but cucumbers you need to add in a bit more lemon because you want that the sourness to it. So if you're using cucumber, you could also use zucchini. You could use carrots. Yesterday I tried making it with cucumber and carrots. That turned out pretty nice. It's not exactly this taste, but it was really nice as well. And then I was thinking like, wow, maybe butternut squash would work, because we make butternut squash noodles, so you could turn it into a kerabu as well, butternut squash. And then the other thing I think which would work really well is green apples. So you need to slice it really thinly. But the thing about green apples is it might oxidize and turn brown. So again, you need to soak it in a bit of lemon juice. And then, and then if you can't find miso, you could use some other kind of fermented soybean. Oh, I didn't bring them out because we actually in Malaysia we have like tauchu, which is a fermented soybean sauce. We also have like the Chinese ones. There's also like a fermented soybean curd as well. So all those fermented ingredients which give like such a lovely umami-ness to it. So you could use that. And then those are the two substitutes that I wanted to talk about. Does anybody have any questions about substitutions? Yeah. I'll just wait for like a couple of seconds. But if not, yeah, I think I better go because this is I've taken up more than half an hour. So again, thank you so much, Yoko, for this, and thank you to all of you for attending this shared online experience, sharing meals together, and be well and stay safe. Bye-bye.